Hello, sunshine. Thank you so much for joining Being Awesome with Yvette, where I write and share daily messages to uplift and encourage you to want to change and do the will of God to become a stronger and better version of you. If this is something you're interested in, please hit the like and subscribe button to be notified when I post the next message. Today, the message is confession is key. The scripture is Proverbs 28:13. He who covers his sins will not prosper, but whoever confesses and forsakes them will have mercy. We all make mistakes, but sometimes we have a hard time admitting or confessing to the things we know are wrong. We have to pray and ask God to forgive us and help us to take the first step to admit our wrongs, because the key to change is to learn from our mistakes and be willing to make the adjustments needed in our life and stop playing the victim for our own mistakes in order to become a better person. Guys, this is something that I used to struggle with because I played the victim a lot. Then I had to realize something, that I allowed things to happen. I remember when I was going through my divorce and I was married to a narcissist sociopath at the time. And I would always say what he did. He did this, he did that. And I realized I was playing a victim. I didn't need to be the victim, because guess what? God said I'm not a victim. I realized I allowed a lot of things to happen. I said it. I allowed it. I did. I allowed him to do the things that he did. One, he was my husband. So he wasn't some boyfriend. He wasn't some friend. He was my husband. So in relationships, we're not supposed to, hold everything someone does to the T. And I didn't. Sometimes I would say something, sometimes I wouldn't. So again, at the end of the day, I allowed it to happen. But even though our relationship ended, I still couldn't play the victim because of who I was married to. His condition had nothing to do with me. And the choices that I made was my decisions. I decided in the relationship to not always confront, not always say something. But at the end, I didn't need to play the victim either. Yes, I was hurt. Yes, he did things. Yes, yes, yes. But at the end of the day, I didn't need to play the victim anymore. Because you know why? Because I had God on my side. That's what I had to realize. I'm not a victim. I am not. So I didn't want to play that role anymore. I didn't want to be that anymore, because the more I spent time with God, God healed me. God showed me. God helped me. And at the end of the day, playing the victim, guys, I'm the one. Playing the victim, I walked around emotionally. I walked around emotionally hurt. Guys, that's what being a victim does to us. It keeps us, maybe not you, but playing a victim made me walk around being an emotional wreck, walking around being depressed over what? The choices that I made. I made the choice in my marriage to not say things all the time. Does that make me a bad wife? No. No, that does not make me a bad wife, because that's what you do in relationships. That's what you do in relationships. You make sacrifices. You do. You don't always have to throw a stone. You don't. That's not what you do in relationships. So that's not what I did. But when I prayed to God and I took my relationship and my marriage to God, He let me know when it was time for me to leave. And I left. So God also had me look at myself. He did. And looking at myself, I had to realize I did some things too, you know? Not saying that it was the right thing at all times. He wasn't right for some things. I wasn't right for some things. At the end of the day, I allowed some things to happen, and He allowed some things to happen. So it was a two-way street, guys. So don't always think that because someone do you wrong, you did them wrong too. I did things wrong too. So I couldn't play the victim anymore. I had to go to God and have a heart to heart. And guys, let me tell you, moving forward, I walk now more in faith. I walk more now knowing God got me. I walk now more knowing that, guess what? Confess when I do something wrong. Stop always pointing fingers about what somebody else did to me. Admit what I did. Admit what I did. And guys, let me tell you something. When we start focusing on the things that we do, guys, we're going to fall very short. So instead of playing the victim all the time, let's change this. Let's stop playing the victim. Let's focus on the things that we've done wrong. And guys, let's change. Let's change. It starts with confession. It starts with confession. Going to God. You know, sometimes we don't have the opportunity to go back to that person and say, hey, I screwed up too. We don't. But at the end of the day, again, that's between you and God. It's your relationship with God. You know? So let's start making a confession and let's admit. And let's stop playing the victim all the time. Let's stop doing that. Because at the end of the day, we made mistakes in our relationship as well. It's not always the other person. If we're going to be honest, not everything was everybody else's fault. I'm going to say it. It's not. We got to look at ourselves sometimes. We really do. Come take this challenge with me. Let's work on stop playing the victim, and let's work on our shortcomings. Let's work on our mistakes. Let's work on being better. How about that? Let's work on being a better person. If you're in a relationship, work on you. Become the better wife. Become a better girlfriend. Become a better you. Let's work on that. Let's work on that. So before you walk away, let's work on ourselves first. So today, let's make a day a confession day, and let's work on becoming a better me and you. How about that? Come take this journey with me. Come take this challenge with me. Let's have a better relationship with God. Let's first have that so we can be a better us, so we can be a better person to the people in our life. But first, let's work on us and God. Let's work on our relationship with God. Come take this challenge with me. Being Awesome with Yvette. Come take it. Please like and subscribe. Again, come take this challenge with me to have a better relationship with God, ourselves, and the people in our life. Thank you for listening to Being Awesome with Yvette. Have an awesome day.